Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading Satellite Office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Monday, August 20th, 2012, and here's today's midday market update. Haven't been in town lately, so I have not been able to put these videos out, but I am back in South Florida, back in the loop. I went out to New York to meet up with a couple of my partners, a couple of friends, and just get some things organized. Glad to be back here, and now we're going to get back in tune with the videos. So make sure you guys are still subscribing to the videos, following us on Twitter, following us on the website mywallstreettv.com. If you want to get to the chat room, the website is actually wallstreettrading.com, and you can click on the form on the right hand side and fill out the information for your 14-day free trial. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the charts here. Had a lot of interesting stocks making moves today. We had some nice good trades that were called out in the chat room. I want to first start by just taking a look at the general market, though. And you can see here that the ES was in a nice little uptrend channel line that I drew in this morning and got everybody on board with making sure they have this pattern on lock here. And you can see here we had this nice little upward channel that broke down out the upward channel like around 7:15, had a nice little pop up in the morning here, and then we sold off all the way to a level of 1410. Levels that we had marked down on the ES that we're watching was 1411 and 1407. We didn't quite get to 1407. We did chop around towards 1411 though, and the idea was to try to get long as the market held that 1411 level, and that it did, and we were able to capitalize on some decent trades. I actually didn't take any trades to the long side, as I made a lot of money here in the morning short in some of these stocks, which we're going to go over. So you can see the 15-minute chart of the ES right now. We have this little downward trend line that broke, and as long as we hold above that trend line, we could definitely be putting in a little higher low to work off of to get a move back up towards the 1416 area potentially. You can see we're currently at the opening price right now. That trend line, the level to watch in that trend line is going to be around the 1412 area or so. But either way, 1411 is the level that I'm working off of. If we break below 1411, then 1410, then 1407. You can see the 5-minute chart up here, which is what I gauged right on the open, and look for channels as well. You can see if I remove the studies here real quick, you can see the 5-minute channel had a nice little downward channel on the 5-minute. I actually moved the channel line. It was originally right here like so. All right, you can see we had a fake little breakout, all right, which is when we started getting our positions to short side once we recognized it was a fake breakout. Had a nice little fake breakout above the channel. Sold right back in the channel. That's what you don't want to see. You usually want to see it from a higher base, consolidate a bit, then move higher. If you see a breakout, then this is considered a bull trap of a channel. You get that nice little easy selling back to the bottom side. Broke the low, didn't held, and then we get a nice little move back up towards the top of the channel. What I like to do, though, is move this back to the bottom here now, adjust it like so. So now we're working off this resistance level on the ES of 1415. And then working off of this 1411, which is a key level that I highlighted to my guys in the chat room earlier this morning. All right, if we break past 1415, you want to watch the 1416, 1418 area. If we break back below 1411, you want to watch the lows of the day on the ES around 1409 and a half, 1409 and a half, and then 1407. Taking a look at some stocks here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Take a look at some stocks here, though. Some trades that we called out in the chat room, some trades that I played this morning. We'll take a look at Lowe's, LOW. The banks have been on fire, by the way. The banks are actually on fire. You can take a look at all the banks. The banks are on fire. LOW was a trade that I called out in the chat room here. All right, you can see the stock had a nice little move up from the pre-market lows. They had earnings this morning. Earnings were not in line. I believe they did lower guidance as well. And you can see the stock gapped all the way down to 25 and some change here. Rallied all the way back to a high of 27. 27 was a key level that we had as R2. We had 21. We had 2650 as R1, 27 as R2 and 2, and 2725 as R3. You can see the stock went up there towards 27, got rejected. And if you look at the 2-minute chart, it gave you a nice little pattern here. Why? Well, you have a nice little bull trap above 2690. This is a 2-minute chart of lows. You can see here we had this little key level to break out, 2690, suck some longs in, wash them right back out. Once we recognized that bull trap, we were able to get short around the 2680 area. All right, then you have this nice little move down, sideways action, which is indicative of another move lower, and then they gave you a nice entry to get short some more around 2660 or so. That's actually where we added some more short, and then we covered most of it down here around 2619. A lot of the people in the chat room were happy with that trade. They made some decent money on that trade. Next trade we talked about was Aetna, AET. All right, Aetna worked out all right. Pretty, a pretty good calculated trade. All right, was watching this little range right here, 39.50. This is a 2-minute chart, by the way. 39, 50, and 40 was the range. So the stock was trading in a 50-cent range. All right, this was the bottom of the range from the pre-market level right here. And once it broke below 39.50, we initiated some shorts down here near the bottom of the range, and we're able to get a nice little targeted trade back towards 39, which was a nice target based off of the little move that we had right here before it made a move up pre-market. That was a support right there from pre-market at 39 level, which shows you why it's always important to put pre-market levels on your charts. I used to work at an office down in Miami where these guys didn't look at no pre-market levels, and I would try to assist them and say, hey, you want to make sure you look at pre-market levels, because pre-market levels give, you could get some great targets if you're looking for some levels that aren't on the charts from the regular session of the open, especially if obviously if it had some nice pre-market action on it as well. One stock that one of our moderators called in the chat room again was Facebook. I believe he called this stock around 1930. Stock ran all the way up to 1990. Another good trade that you could have participated in if you were in our chat room, which is My Wall Street TV. Password to log in is smart. Excuse me if I'm talking fast. I'm just getting back used to the videos here, so I'm on a roll. A lot of stuff going on today. So Aetna, Lowe's, the banks are on fire. Citigroup, we recognize the early strength of the banks this morning. My partner James, he follows the banks a lot, pretty much to the T. That's his sector. That's his bread and butter right there. And he recognized that banks were showing relative strength, and so far those are going, those are moving much higher. Bank of America should be the go-to one right here. This Bank of America stock, as you guys can see, this one's just flagging up right here, flagging up pretty nice, holding the previous day's high, and just flagging up pretty nice here. The stock starts holding above 816 to 817. This thing could get going here. Remember, Bank of America was the strongest bank on Friday. Something to remember. So that was definitely was a nice go-to stock today, to no-brainer trade to watch if you're watching the banks off the morning, which I wasn't. Again, I was watching Lowe's and Aetna, as these stocks were definitely in play from the news that they came out with this morning. So going forward on the ES, guys, if you guys are trading the ES over there, the levels you want to be watching for on the ES. Let me move this one out the way here real quick. Is a nice little to see the 50-minute chart right here. As long as we can hold above this little downward trend line that we have right here, guys, on the 50-minute trend line break, right? As long as we can put a nice little higher low off these little lows right here, we got a nice chance to move back up towards 14, 15, 14, 16. If we break back below this channel, all right, and call it, if we break it back below 14, 12, then we could get a move back down towards 14, 11, 14, 11, then back down towards the lows. Right, we don't want to have the same scenario that happened here on the 5-minute chart where we had the little fake breakout and sell-off happen on the 15-minute chart where we have a nice little breakout that could be in play, and it could go right back below that key trend line. So just keep those in line. Apple, if I was to end this video without talking about Apple, I would be considered a madman. Apple is traded much higher. This stock is just on fire. I mean, on fire, F-I-R-E, fire. I mean, look at this, guys. Nice little pennant, nice little downward channel break play. Another nice little flag, breakout, another pullback, breakout. I mean, they're just buying this thing on dips all day. I haven't been trading Apple today. But, and I wouldn't be trading Apple stock. If anything, if I was buying it right now, I would actually just be trading the calls. The weekly calls should give you great leverage and great risk to reward off of those right there. So anyway, that's about it, guys. Hope you guys liked the video. I will have a after the bell market update, after the bell market summary later on today. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook under Wall Street Trading. Follow us on Twitter under Wall Street Trade. And follow us on YouTube via My Wall Street TV. Hope you guys are trading it well today. And have a great day, guys. I'll catch you guys later after the bell. Have a good one.